Welcome to Redvee TV as we continue to build up to the 2023 season in Redvee's 20th anniversary year and the 150th anniversary of St Helens Rugby League. And with 31 days to go until the World Club Challenge, it is the turn of St Helens number 31.
It's Daniel Moss, and Daniel is proudly sponsored by A-Star Recruitment for the 2023 season.
Danny, we'll go for his less formal name now that he's been introduced. He's a player who took his opportunity last season, wasn't he, Kev? He got brought in for that game against Castleford away and was arguably man of the match in that game.
Yeah, there were a couple of players who definitely put their hands up and looked good, looked like they could do a job. He's one of them. He looked tidy. He looked compact. He looked like he liked taking the line on. Didn't shirk when the big fellas were running at him, as they do, and try and tire out a young halfback. I think the thing with halfbacks is fans, and this isn't just Saints fans, but all fans want to see the next big thing. And all I'd turn around to people and say is don't put any undue pressure on Danny before his career's got going. Don't build too much expectation. He's got the tools, or he looks to have the tools from what we've seen of him, to be a very good player. But let the lad kind of breathe. Let him be able to kind of grow into his position rather than start expecting him to come in and, to use a phrase that I used about a million times last season, be prime Sean Long.
Yeah. There was that clamour last season, wasn't there, when we were desperately short on the halves for him to be brought in. And I think we talked about it on the preview shows quite frequently. He hadn't trained in a full-time environment at that point. Obviously, he came in towards the end of the year, but this will be his first full pre-season with the Saints first team squad. Do we expect to see much of him this year, given that Lewis Dodd is available once again? You've got obviously your other options in the halves, Jack Wellesby, Will Hopper-Wart, he can play there. Johnny Lomax is obviously in there. Do you see him getting much game time this year, or is the best thing for Danny Moss this year potentially to be going out doing a little bit of dual reg and playing in a first team environment on a weekly basis?
I don't expect to see too much of him unless injuries proper bite in the halves. I expect him to kind of further his development in the reserves and out on dual reg. And I think that will be good for him. Do I expect it? Do I think I'll see him in a Saints shirt this season, first team? Possibly. If he's going well, we mentioned it in previous kind of these player profiles, that if he goes in and does a John Bennison, which I think is going to be now the parlance for a young player coming through and taking their opportunity, but if he does a John Bennison, then he's got every chance of making a couple of appearances. As it is, I think you've mentioned him stepping up to full time. He will look to go out, play some first team games somewhere else, even if it is just a week in and out, dipped into Swinton, or playing for our reserves against seasoned professionals and kind of learning his game. As I say, I don't think that he's going to end up playing, say, a dozen times for Saints this season. But if he does, it's because he's deserved it and because he's been the best option there.
Absolutely. Another young gun, done and dusted.
Yeah, that's it. And I think, to be fair, I think Danny's aims this year will be to kind of take in as much as he can from our halfbacks and from the seasoned pros around him. And then go out and, as I say, learn from players who are playing week in, week out. So you get the go and playing over at the likes of Swinton, go and playing against people who might be finding the fitness and playing for the reserves, or against our reserves. Just taking everything he can from the game and kind of building up a little bit of experience. So next time he is called upon for the first team, he can go out there and do as he did against Castleford, and was it Wakefield he played against as well towards the end of the season, kind of build on the promising performances that he's put out there.
Absolutely. Another one gone. Back again tomorrow, Kev. We're on a roll now.
We certainly are.
Right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll catch you tomorrow for another episode of Redvee TV.